Yeah, really proud of the guys. We've had some challenging, practices over the last couple of days, and had some lengthy conversations, with the guys about their mindset and their intention, not just for this game, but for the season, overall. And I thought the guys responded, in a positive way. You know, these games are tough. It's a well-coached team over there, and clearly that team has talent. And early in the game, it was evident, right? They have physical bodies, size, not any different than we'll face, in conference play. And they got out of the gate early and did really well. Max kind of kept us in it, with his, offensive performance there and shooting, early in the game. And then our bench, quite honestly, gave us a big lift. Luke coming off the bench, Michael Bell in the first half coming off the bench, gave us a tremendous lift there to give us a little bit of a cushion, right? And to not necessarily take control of the game, all right, but to put us in a position where it's okay, it's halftime, let's go, all right? We're up, whatever it is, 8, and let's come out of the gate, all right, ready to go. All right, get a stop on the first possession and score on the other, and let's play. Challenge the starters at halftime, all right, to play better than they did to start the game, and they did. They came out ready to roll and began to impose their will on the game, and which is what we've been talking to them about over the last couple of days, and their consistency with which they do it. And, the rest of the game kind of went from there. Obviously, Fats came in and made some shots, and Max continued to play well, and Phil was dynamite throughout. Luke, was dynamite off the bench. A lot of contributors, a team win, for sure.
Max said that at the point where he hits 3 or 4 threes in a row to start the game, he kind of feels like he's invincible and he can do anything. What's it like for you?
Yeah, just call another play for him, right? And just hope he doesn't get tired and you have to take him out. And I did have to take him out at one point because, he had made several in a row, and I was like, okay, well, he's due to come out, right? And you hate to do that as a coach, but at the same time, you don't want to kill it, but at the same time, he does have to have his proper rest.
Luke confirmed rim protecting presence. I think you
Yeah.
guys are nationally elite at this point in blocks per game. What does that do for you guys schematically when you've got 2 guys back there who are blocking shots like they are right now?
Yeah, no, it's really important for our defense, and we obviously didn't play the smaller lineup, today. Luke and Firm, did a nice job. I think Luke did a better job than Firm in the first half. Firm came back in the second half and did well, and so we need that 1-2 punch, in terms of protecting our rim. And early in the game, we, Firm got sealed a couple of times, and they had a couple of tip-ins. We didn't execute our pick-and-roll defense the way that we needed to. And then as the game wore on, we got better, all right? And you saw the guards and the bigs connected. And obviously our pressure, in the full court, was important as well.
Seems like Zeb went back to the locker room in the first half, didn't come back. What's the status with him?
He was ruled out, for the second half, so we couldn't put him back in. And we'll know more, tomorrow once we kind of go through. I think it's something that is typical, that he's had at times, but I don't know the full details just yet.
Is there anything doing with his hand that was previously
No,
hurt?
no.
And Coach, towards the end of the game there, you were getting the fans into it yourself, very similar to Philip Russell throughout the season.
Yeah.
What was going through your head there? I've never really seen you.
Oh, because I was like, I wanted the fans to give Brandon some appreciation there, right? Like Brandon hustled, like Brandon was way behind the play. And, obviously it's easy when you have a lead like that to just kind of watch the game. And, I want them to be engaged at all times, right? No different than we are. Like that's like we're stronger together, right? And, when one of our players makes a hustle play like that, like that's a big deal. and because we practice hard, these guys work really hard, and they're very coachable. And when they hear the fans cheering for them like that, what do you think they want to do?
Keep playing.
They want to do it again, right? And so it works. It's common sense, right? And so we want to try to create, an extreme connection, with our fans.
Psychologically, big game for Fats, beneficial for him. He's been in and out of the lineup this
Yeah.
year. He really got going in that second half.
Yeah, he did.
Spur him going forward here.
Yeah, we'll see. Fats has done a nice job. He's come in very little minutes, right? And hasn't made many mistakes, when he's been in there. And it's hard when you're not getting that many minutes. And tonight, obviously, he was able to feel it a little bit more, right? And be out there a little bit more. He got a little bit of burn in the first half. And obviously was much better, the second time that he went in. And, his teammates were looking for him. And, I thought he did a nice job on defense, which is really important. And, I'm happy for Fats.
12-1 run, I think, coming out of halftime.
Yeah.
You alluded to it. It's back and forth game for a half, and then you guys kind of seized control in the early stages of that second half. What did you see in that sequence that enabled you guys to pull away?
We've talked to our guys about consistently trying to dominate, right? And putting sustained pressure on other teams without fouling, all right, over and over and over again. I thought tonight the guys did a good job of that. And obviously we were helped by some of the stuff that went on, during the game, and, had a couple of free shots and all that kind of stuff, which certainly didn't hurt. But the pressure coming out, all right, was really important. And it gave us more confidence, right? The defense can sometimes help your offense. And not that our offense was bad in the first half. It wasn't bad by any stretch. We just had to figure out ways to get Max a little more free. Pick and roll wasn't the answer, in the first half. We started out with it, and then we switched to the off-the-ball screens for him to get him more shots. So, overall, I thought our pressure was a big factor.
And Coach, we're seeing more minutes from Luke than we were earlier in the season.
Yeah.
How's your confidence with him?
Yeah, it's going up, right? You can see it. His confidence is going up, which is most important, right? And, I've watched Luke enough to know that he's a good player and can help this team. And it's hard to do it when you're a freshman right away, right? And sticking to the things that he's good at, all right, is how you gain more confidence, all right? He can obviously time shots and block shots. He can pass the ball. He can catch it. He's good in pick and roll offense. He can move his feet and defend. He's hard to kind of get to because he moves so quickly. He can offensive rebound. You saw him come out of nowhere and go get that rebound. That was a hustle play for us. And so it's all stuff that we've seen when we recruited him. But you have to be able to gradually grow into that in college. And, I think what we're seeing, he's not going to have that game every game, all right? But, certainly him gaining confidence, all of our guys gaining more confidence, not only in themselves, but the other individuals as well, and the team as a whole, all right, is what it's all about.
And you alluded to it, rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds tonight. How does that feel as a coach?
Yeah, it's something that we practice all the time. It's something that our guys understand is really important. Those extra possessions. Unfortunately, we gave up 15. In the game, and those are key. They're key possessions to get back. And we're not going to make every shot, and so we can't be one and done. We've got to chase the ball, and we've got to have balance. When we do that.
Phil drew 2 offensive fouls tonight. The second one obviously resulted in the flagrant and the ejection. Do you feel like he's kind of finding that line better with defending and using his intensity without fouling?
Yeah, coming off of Charleston, he was in a tough place, right? Because he had played so well, leading into Charleston, and to have that type of performance. Not that he didn't, do anything well down there. He certainly did. But he wasn't himself, and we need him on the court. He has to be available for us. And so all the conversations after that, between me and him, other coaches and him, the support and love of everyone, his teammates, helped him understand kind of the importance of the situation, right? And that we need him, and the team needs him. And so that makes a guy feel good, right? And so it puts the onus on him. Okay, I've got to do right. I've got to play the game the right way. And not that he wasn't playing the game the right way. He was just getting some ticky-tack fouls that he didn't need to get. And, I think, he's, certainly turned a positive corner, but there's a lot of basketball to be played. And we're going to be in some tight games, going forward. And, we need him, in the right mindset, and we need him in the game.
Do one or two more, guys.
Coach, I believe the first net rankings came out this week. How much do you and the staff care about a 35-point victory?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it, quite honestly. I want our guys to play our best, right? And, our focus is on every possession and getting our guys in a mindset, that they have to dominate on every play. And you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, all right? But, and I'm talking about individual plays. And, I think over the course of the last couple of days, our practices weren't as good as they needed to be. And so, sometimes digging into their minds is more important than digging into the actual reps and the bodies. And, I think our guys, got the point. And even though we didn't start out exactly the way that we wanted to, I think you did see a situation where our guys understood, like, we have to be the aggressor. We can't settle for average. Like, we've got to be the aggressor all the time. And some games are going to come easier than others. Some games are going to be really, really hard in order to do that. And we were certainly fortunate tonight.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, guys. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.